Good evening, Facebook Live. Hello. How's everybody this evening? Thursday night, 7 o'clock. Time for another Facebook Live. Although I am kind of looking out of the window now thinking, what am I doing sitting in here? But I'm sitting in here because I want to share, bring some love, bring some value to you people, lovely people out there in this wonderful group that's growing really quickly. I want to say straight off the bat, I really appreciate the involvement, everybody, the involvement and the input that people have in the group. That's what it's all about. It's not just all about me. Yeah, anybody can share stuff if it's relevant. You know, don't want to see pictures of your granny. Oh, unless your granny's good at, you know, doing what we do. So cool. If you're online, give me a thumbs up. Type in where you're calling in from. If you're here live, just comment live so I know you're here. If it's replay, comment replay. As always, you can ask questions as we go. I'm going to be sharp on this tonight because I've got a call at 7:30, so I need to be off a bit before then to get ready for that. So there's a thumbs up from whoever that was. Someone's watching. That's good. Yeah, and if you're watching the replay, just click replay, and then you know you can also ask questions in the comments as well. So that's all good. Anyway, like I said, got to be off here tonight to run on a call. So, earlier in the week, I wrote a Facebook post which I'll post into the group tomorrow. Hi, Bevan Ed, New Forest. Yeah, are you outside? Are you outside on that nice table that I saw you out on last week? So anyway, I wrote a Facebook post on my normal page earlier on in the week about setting your intention. Well, it's based around looking into your crystal ball, but it's kind of inspired me to look a little bit more deeper into this for people that are in this group that are a bit more committed to growth and committed to wanting to find clarity, build some confidence, get unstuck, move forward, live with purpose. That's what we do here. So I'm just going to crack on with this. What I thought was, we talked a lot in the last couple of weeks, and I did a masterclass about getting unstuck and moving forward, and that's kind of a bit like, you know, that's all about where are we now? Where do we want to be? Where are we now, and what can we do about getting out of the stuckness of now? Good, glad you're outside. And maybe I should have taken my laptop outside tonight. So we've done a couple of masterclasses in a couple of weeks about getting unstuck from where you are now, which is fine, because that's all good, right? And hopefully that's been useful. What it struck me earlier on in the week was that's relatively, the stuff that we've been doing is relatively in the now, which is also where we need to be in the now, and relatively short term stuff to get moving and get moving forward. And these things always have layers. So it gave me kind of the inspiration to think to myself, well, you know, that's well and good, and that serves a brilliant purpose. But how about the intention of where do I want to be in the future? So I'm going to propose the question now of, have you got any idea of where you will be in 6 months' time, where you'll be in a year, where you'll be in 3 years, and where you'll be in 5 years? That was kind of the basis of the Facebook post that I wrote. So I just kind of want you to think about that for a minute. Have you, like, you know, it's kind of like, do you have a plan? Do you have intention? If you took your crystal ball and looked into it and went forward 6 months, 1 year, 3 years, 5 years, what do you see? Do you have a clear picture? Do you have a clear understanding? Does it look like, are you just like, okay, I don't really know? If you've got an absolutely clear picture, and you know, and it's all detailed, and you're absolutely on point, then brilliant for you. This podcast, whatever you want to call it, live, sorry, is probably not for you because you're all sorted. If you haven't got the idea, you can't see something clear, then the next 20 minutes is going to be for us, for you. So if you're looking into your crystal ball and looking at 6 months, 1 year, 3 year, 5 year, do I know where I'm going to be? Do I know what I'm going to do? Have I got any idea how I'm going to get there? Do I know where I'm going? Kind of thing. So if it looks kind of murky and muddy and I don't really know, and this word I don't like, well, I hope that things are going to turn out all right. That's, that's kind of like, flying what do they call it? Flying a kite, and hoping it's going to get to where you want it to go. That's not right, but you know what I mean. So I'm going to try and put a few things in place just to help with that, help change that tonight. The next thing I wanted to ask yourself is kind of, so with your view into your crystal ball, or your view into your mind of where you're going to be in those periods of time. If you're not clear, what I also want you to think to yourself is, what happens if things keep going the way they are? Okay, so life keeps going the way it is. I haven't got really any kind of plan. I haven't really, not really sure what that's going to be. I hope things are going to be different. As Einstein says, one of my really, really favorite quotes is, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and hoping for a different result. And that is kind of like hope and, wishing and praying that something's going to turn out right, down differently, without actually doing anything. So what I also hear when we are talking to clients about this, what I hear people actually say a lot is, I'll be okay when. So I'll be okay when this happens. I'll be okay when I'm happier. I'll be okay when I'm earning more money. I'll be okay when I've got a different job. I'll be okay when somebody does something. So externalizing all of this. So it's not then becoming really sort of not your problem. Taking radical responsibility is what we're talking about. The I'll be okay when is like, be okay now, or make yourself okay now. So what I want to do is tonight switch this on its head, not switch it on its head, just turn it around, so that we've got some more intention. Okay, so much the same as we did with, like, with getting unstuck in the areas of life that we're stuck in. Take some areas of your, get some, and this is the stuff, if you're watching this live, you can go back over it later on, but this is the kind of, I'll go over the steps and you can do them at another time. So get yourself a piece of paper and something to write with, or do it on your PC, your phone, whatever you want to do, it doesn't matter. There is benefit in writing things out manually, by the way, because it's a brain connection of actually creating the words on a page, gives that more energy and life. But if that doesn't work for you, that's also cool. So what I'm going to say is, take some areas of your life, much as we've done to work out where we're stuck. But take some areas, the main areas you like, relationships, friends and family, environment, money and finances, career, health and fitness, personal development, spiritual growth, those kind of areas, and just take them and look at them and write down in each of those areas where you want to be in 6 months, where you want to be in a year, where you want to be in 3 years, and where you want to be in 5 years. And when you do that, once you've written them down, I want to say, start to think about each individual area that you've written down and start to be quite specific about what you want. And the best kind of, so we're going to start to use the power of intention. Then we're going to go into using the power of the mind and energy. So we're using energy to create, first of all, the words with our thoughts and our written word. Then we'll go into some imagery. We use the power of intention to draw the energy of what we want towards us. Start to get quite specific about what you want. And what I mean by this, and like an analogy that I like to use with my own clients, is this. If you went into a restaurant and it was a chef's night off, and whoever was in the kitchen stuck his head out and said, sorry, chef's night off, but I can feed you. What do you want? And you just said, well, I'm hungry. Right? And he did this, are you hungry? And you said, yeah. And then the person in the kitchen just brought out a plate of lots of different bits and pieces, all crap from out of the back of the fridge, and gave you that. You'd kind of look at him and think, that's a load of crap, and I'm not going to eat. A, I'm not going to eat it, and B, I'm not going to pay for it. And the problem, the miscommunication there is, you didn't say exactly what you got. You know, the person who asked you what you want, you didn't know, I'm hungry, and you didn't say exactly what you want. And so you got a plate full of crap. It's all food, but it's not food that you want. So if you said, I'm really hungry, I came in here for a really nice juicy steak. Okay, that's your pure intention. That's what you want. When you're hungry, think and feel about that steak. It's a visceral feeling. You know, you've got it in your mind. You got the stuff. You know, the chef's in there in the kitchen cooking you a beautiful steak, just how you like it, however that is. You can think to yourself, when it comes to the table, it's just going to be, you know, beautiful. And it could be if you all don't eat steak, whatever you want. Get what I mean? But when I come, it's going to be beautiful, and it's going to smell amazing, and it's going to look amazing, and it's going to taste delicious, and it's going to be an onslaught for the senses. Do that with these areas of your life. Okay? So get specific. Once you've got specific, start using the mental and emotional imagery like I just explained to you. I learned this term yesterday only, use your internal genius, okay? There's stuff I'm telling you, I love showing this because this is free, right? This is stuff that you can do. You only need something to write down on and a little bit of time, and using your internal genius to start attracting what you want into your life with the power of your intention. So get clear and be specific. Write those areas down, write on a piece of paper, and then ideally go back to them regularly. Daily is good. Twice daily, morning and evening, is even better. And go mentally into each area of that life and just spend a few seconds or a minute or something like that, or 10, 20 seconds on each one. Take yourself there. Feel that within your body, within your mind, and start letting that work out. It's the energy work out of you. And so you've got a clear picture in your mind of where you want to be and what you're working towards. Because if you don't at the moment, and you're just winging it, good things are going to happen to you if you're a good person, right? Chances are things might turn out all right. And what I put in my post is, would you get on a plane not knowing what the destination is? Probably not. Or a boat? Probably not. You might end up somewhere nice by luck, but you probably prefer to get on a boat or a plane, let's say, knowing that it's taken you on a day to where you want to go. Okay? That's your intention. And that's what you've done. So start to get a bit more clear on what you want out of life. Get clear when you write it down. Get clear when you read. If you can read it out loud to yourself, even better, because it's vibrating in your body. Okay, so there's a stronger connection to what you've written down. Is it always going to turn out perfect? The universe have ways of working little twists and turns in. Will the path be straight? Absolutely not. Will it take twists and turns? Yep. Will you get there the way you imagined you would get there? Probably not. When you get there, will it be perfectly what you want? Maybe, maybe not, but it can be. And I'm going to share a story with you next to show you how it can work. So if you've got any questions, fire them in the group. But I hope that's cool so far. So areas of your life, write down where you want to be, 6 months, 1 year, 3 year, 5 year, get quite specific, ideally write them down, then connect to it using mental imagery and be clear with your intention as to what you intend to do. Okay, now what I'm going to do is to share a couple of stories with you to get you to indicate the power of using your mind for this. So this story again, I only heard this actually quite recently, and it was a story of a guy, and he was in prison or something like that. I think he might have been a prisoner of war or something like that. And to get away from where he was, this is the power of mental imagery, to get himself away from the humdrum of a daily, like I think he was actually being tortured or something like that on a daily basis. So it was like a prisoner of war. It's a bad situation. And he used to go in his mind, because that's the thing he had control of and he was freeing in his mind every day, and play a round of golf on his favorite golf course. And he used to do that day in, day out. Imagine, because his intention was, I'm going to get out of here and I'm going to play on my favorite golf course. I'm going to go and play a round of golf. Anyway, not to make the story too long and boring, he was obviously only sitting in his cell wherever he was. When he got out, and this is a documented story, by the way, when he got out, he went and played on his golf course, bearing in mind he hadn't played for years, and his round was 4 shots better than it had ever been before. Why am I telling you that story? Because that's the power of mental imagery. His imagery has been so strong that he practiced and practiced and practiced, owning his mind so many times that he had got better and knew by the time he got there, however many years later it was, exactly what he was going to do better. And he did it. And he's only been practicing in his mind. So that's the power of mental imagery. You will watch Formula One drivers going through the circuit. If you know, occasionally you'll get some shots. That's what they're doing. Okay. I want to share you a quick story as well about this. This happened to me. So I might have told you this before, but very quickly. When I was 39, I was sitting in a pub with my mate, and it was my birthday. And we were just having a beer and a chat, and he was like, where do you want to be? And I said, do I tell you where I'm going to be? By the time I'm 45, I'm going to be spend a large amount of my time in Ibiza, living in Ibiza, because it's a place I love. I'm going to own a place over there, and I'll be coming backwards and forwards a lot. And he laughed at me, and he was like, that's bullshit. Like, you know, how are you going to do that? Because at this point, I was like, nowhere near. And so what I did was I wrote it down on a beer mat, and we tore it in half. I also bet him £1,000, by the way, which he's never paid up, bastard. We wrote it on a beer mat, and we tore it in half, and I gave it to him. So it's really intentional. Wrote it down. I had energy about it, because I was like, fuck you, because he upset me because he didn't believe in me. I didn't believe he would pay, so I was right, and he was wrong. So anyway, like fast forward 6 years, and this story, I don't know if anybody knows the book The Secret. This story that I'm telling you now, I submitted to The Secret, and it's listed on their website. So to cut a long story short, things went on. I started going backwards and forwards to Ibiza. I had it clear in my mind. I had the intention, and it was getting really close in the year before my 45th birthday. It was like August or something like that. And all of a sudden, out of the blue, somebody came into where I was working and said, I want to buy, well, basically wanted to buy my house at the time. And I was like, okay, like out of the blue. I sold it to them. It gave me a pot of money. And all of a sudden, the company I was working for went into was going to fold. So I was like, well, if the company's going to fold, I'll go to Ibiza. And I went to Ibiza, and then I started looking for a house, not thinking I was going to buy one, or a flat, sorry, not thinking I was going to buy one. But I, like 2 or 3 flats in, found this perfect place. And it just happened. It happened. Anyway, so I made an offer, and I said I was going to buy it. And I completed on my house in court on the 22nd of January on my 45th birthday, which was exactly 6 years to the day what I said I was going to do, and wrote on a beer mat. That's the power of intention. Okay. The next layer I'm going to give you to that is, once you've written down, and this is what I did, once you've written down what you want to do in those areas, you start to live with the best of your ability as if you're already that person. Okay. So say you have a fitness goal. Let's just say, because it's easy, right? Let's just say you want to lose some weight. You're not gonna lose it overnight, okay? But you can start living as if you were that person that's already lost the weight. So how would that person eat? How would that person act? What would that person do? I'd say, and then bring that future back to you. So for example, when I was doing mine with my apartment, I started going backwards, forwards to Ibiza. I started talking to estate agents. I didn't know how I was going to buy the house. I had no idea where the money was going to come from. But I started talking to estate agents. I started making connections. I started walking around looking at apartments. Telling my inside, this is what's going to happen. This is what I want. This is what's going to happen. This is what's going to happen. And I trusted that it would happen. So give your inside, give your internal genius the cues and the belief that this is what's going to happen. Now, I'm not saying, oh, if I want to be, earning passive income and be free from work in 5 years' time, give up your job. No, but start learning about investments. Start doing something. Start living as if you're already there to the best of your ability. Okay? So you're telling your body, your intention, your energy, and your outgoing is as if you're already that person. And then that will start to come towards you. I hope that's kind of clear and straightforward. I think so. What do you reckon, Bevan? Is that clear and straightforward? So that the last part is the gold part. That's the energy, the feeling. That's the part of sitting before and waiting for the steak. You're thinking about it. You can see it. You can almost taste it. You're salivating. Your steak hasn't arrived yet, right? But you feel it. You're ready. You've got the visceral feeling. Get that feeling about the things that you've written down, about your intentions, and start to visit them, as I said, on a piece of paper. If you can speak them out loud, do that. Let the energy of your intention bring it towards you. So I'm going to leave that there. The last thing I'm going to say is, if you want to work this all out, you're not sure where you're going, you're not sure about your future, you want to get clear, then get on a quick call. If you're up for it, get on a quick call, 10-minute call with me. Maybe I can help you. We'll have a chat. The way it goes, we get on a quick call, we have a quick chat. If I think we can do something to help you, we get on a longer chat. So we don't waste time if I don't think I can help you. So we have a quick 10-minute chat. If I think I can help you, we book a longer chat. If you want to do that, just book comment call in the comment box, and somebody will contact you, or I'll contact you, or one of us will contact you to set up an appointment, and we can have a chat. And we can go through this stuff together. So I gotta get off. I've got another call. Thanks very much for your attention. Thanks very much for being here, Bev and Ed, even though you're outside, very jealous. I'm going to go outside after this. So that's it. I think it must be one of the first ones I've done on time, which is cool. So, like I said, any questions, ask me. Okay, I'm going to go. Bye.